afteryourmessage.co.uk. And today I have a great gentleman in front of me, with me, who we're interviewing today. His name is Steve
Horsley.
Steve Horsley. Hey, he remembered his name. He remembered his name. His name is Steve Horsley. Steve, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, thank you, Alex.
Keeping well?
Yes, thank you. Very well.
Very well. Had a great week.
Yes, it's been good.
Okay, Steve. So, Steve, tell me who you are and the name of the company, and tell me, what do you actually do, Steve, apart from sit in the van?
Sit in the van talking to you, Alex.
Exactly.
Well, so my name's Stephen Horsley, and I started a business back in 2017 called Trinity Interior Exteriors. And basically we do home improvements, property improvements, but it's a range of things that we do. So painting and decorating, tiling, wall and floor. We refit new bathrooms, shower rooms, wet rooms. And we have a gang of guys as well, like plasterers and plumbers and electricians. So we can get a whole job done for whoever needs that job doing.
Steve, you sound like you're a big organization, mate. You sound like a massive company. You're me thinking you're a small company somewhere.
Yeah, well, it's certainly growing. It's growing fast.
So, Steve, around about 2017, when this all started, what prompted this? What prompted this new move of yours? Okay.
Well, we have to go back a little bit further than 2017 to get the full story of it. So way back in 2011, 2012, I actually became a Christian. I gave my heart to the Lord, and from then I began to hear from God, and I received a vision, which I believe was from the Lord. And it was about young people and getting young people into work, but in a different way. But the big time came was in 2012. I was made redundant from what I was working for somebody. I was contracting to Walsall Council at the time, and I was made redundant. And I was thinking, okay, what do I do now? What do I do being made redundant? You got a family, young children. But I heard the Lord clearly say to me, trust in me and lean not on your own understanding. So I went with that. And then I ended up working with a guy for some time doing home improvements. But during that time, I was part of a youth group, and we was out on a youth camp. And I was in my tent on my own, and I heard the name Trinity clearly. Trinity Interiors Exteriors, as clear as day. So I had to...
Just like how me and you're talking right now, you heard the word Trinity in your ear.
Correct. That's right, yeah. It was almost an audible voice. And at the time it was like, okay, that's interesting. Where do you go with that, But I knew what God was saying, and I knew it's weird really sometimes, because you know what God's saying, but it's like, how do you get there? How do you go to that place? But I had to go back to what he said to me, trust in me.
Wow.
And I'll lead you. So that's what I've done for a good few years. And then 2017 came, and I just had this feeling that I needed to sort of break away from who I was working with and go in this direction. And I had the word teaching, and I was like, okay.
When you say you had this feeling, was it over a period of time, or was it an instant thing, or was it something that was gradually building up?
It's an instant thing for me. It's almost like okay, it's time. It's time to move on. And that's what I get with all things with God, I always get that it's time, and something changes. Something changes in yourself.
So you got to push. You got to push. Then it was a big nudge.
Oh yeah, well yeah, a big push, yeah. So once I got that push, I just knew that I have to move. So I moved with it, and I launched out as Trinity Interiors Exteriors in 2017, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all, because you're thinking, well, where's the work coming from? And
well, that's what I was going to say. Did you expect it to be easy because it was something you believe was coming from God? Did you expect it to be easy?
Well, ultimately, you think so. Ultimately, you think so. But what I've learned over the years is it's never an easy journey when you're following God's voice. It's never easy, but it's good. It's good, and it's right. So I went with it, and I didn't have any pattern, I didn't have any sort of plan, but I had this vision. I just had this vision, and I knew that I had to get to somewhere. So I just followed my heart with God, leaned on him, and times were hard at the time, and I was like, Lord, where's the next job coming from? And the jobs had just come in, my phone would ring, and there'd be a job there, and then it just gradually over time escalated.
How many of you were on the team at the time? How many of you were on the team when you first started?
Just myself. Just myself.
So you did everything, Steve. You did everything.
I tried my best, yeah. That's for sure. That's for sure. I was even doing all my own accounts, my own bookkeeping at the time. Not that it was huge to deal with anyway, but during the time you learn a lot over the time that you're going through this journey. And then I just knew there come a time in 2019 that I knew that the Lord wanted me to take a young guy on as an apprentice.
Wow. So up until that point, you're still working on your own, and suddenly you felt the need to take on an apprentice.
Correct. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I know it sounds crazy, doesn't it? but this it was an urge to do so. And then out of the blue, the church that I was attending, the lady who goes there, she was a part of a company called Nova Training. And she asked me if I'd be interested in taking on a young lad from Nova.
No. Stop there, Steve. Now, stop. Hold up, Steve. Hold up. You're telling me, right, you made this decision in your head to take on a trainee.
Yeah.
And this woman, out of the blue,
yeah,
and approached you.
That's right.
Just like that.
Just like that.
That's amazing, Steve. That's amazing.
Just like that, yeah.
So what did you think at the time?
It at the time, it blew my mind. The second she asked me the question, I was like, oh my goodness. If this is not confirmation, then worries. So I just said yes. I didn't even hesitate. It was yes. And then obviously I went to Nova Training, spoke with the manager there, and then I actually at the time I took on two lads at the time, because this one guy come out and then he says, "Are you interested in another guy?" And I had these two lads, and it was only one day a week to begin with. I was taking them out on. It was just an experience for them. And unfortunately, the one lad dropped off over time during the COVID period, because we hit the COVID period in 2020. And I had Brett still, and I had another lad called Ben. Yeah, but over that period,
when COVID hit, how ready were you for COVID?
I was not ready at all. I was not ready at all. It was a bit mind-boggling, really, because you say, I'm saying yes to what I know is right, and then this hits, and it's like, okay, and it just it's as if it's almost like a sponge thrown in the works. So then it's just a matter of, okay, I'll go back to trusting the Lord, leaning on your own understanding, and that's exactly where I went back to. But funnily enough, COVID, during this lockdown of the whole country, during COVID, I was out of work for 5 months, something like that. And then I had a phone call for a job, and I went back to work, and then it just escalated again. The work just began to escalate again. And I was working through COVID. Which not many people at that time could do. And then I had Brett come on again, the young lad. He came back. And it's just escalated again. And the work's picked up. Brett's gone through college because I had it clear to send Brett off to college at the time. So Brett went to college 1 day a week, and he had his experience with me working. And it's just been amazing. It's just escalated over the years.
But you're not like most small business owners, Steve, because you sent Brett to college. Was that part of the deal, or you thought he needed a piece of paper to say that this is what he does? What prompted that?
Yeah, for me, it was that piece of paper to say, I went through it, and I've got that piece of paper to say, this is what I do, this is what I'm qualified at. So I just felt it was right to send Brett to college to get that same thing, because this is Brett's journey as well as mine. It's not just me employing Brett and that's it, he's stuck with me. You know, Brett is qualified at what he does, and he can get his own work, and he can do his own work, so he can go off and do whatever he wants to do. He's not stuck with Trinity, you know. But you know, it's time for him now he's qualified to go and do what he needs to do, whether that's for Trinity or whether it's for himself or whether it's for somebody else.
You're releasing him, Steve. You're releasing him, huh?
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
That's amazing. So you came through COVID, work picked up. Now, do you do any form of advertising at all?
All I had was a small Facebook page. That's all I had. I mean, obviously, I had customers from years before I started Trinity who knew of me, so they'd call me. So, but it's all been recommendations and just being in right places at right times.
So are you saying that people are very loyal to you? That once they've had an interaction with you, they keep coming back?
Yes, the majority, yes. Yeah.
What do you think causes that? What do you think caused that?
I truly believe it's just down to the quality, for one, of the work. Because that's always been my blueprint to produce the quality for the customer. And as long as the customer's happy, I'm happy. But also, I do believe I put it down to the character of myself now, just through what God has done in me and through me, and what He continues to do in and through me.
Okay, Steve, let's look at the elephant in the room, in the car, mate. What has God done for you, Steve? Come on. What has God done for you?
What hasn't He done for me, Alex? What hasn't He done? He's transformed my life completely. Like I say, God came into my life in 2000. He broke into my life, if I'm honest with you, in 2011. Just during the passing of my father. I met with God. I met with the Prince of Peace that His word speaks about. I met with Him. And at the time I didn't understand it, but now I completely understand what it is. Because if it wasn't for that Prince of Peace that I have, Jesus Himself, COVID would have destroyed me. I totally believe COVID would have.
Okay, but Steve, if you never understood at the time, how did you respond then? If you never understood, how did you respond?
How did I respond?
Yeah.
I responded by going to a church, if I'm honest with you. It's a church of my sister's that she goes to, and my dad used to go to. And I went there, and I wanted to know what this Prince of Peace was. I didn't know what it was. But at my dad's passing, when he passed away at the house, I just sensed something in the room, and it's a peace that you just cannot explain. You cannot explain it. And I wanted to know what that was. So I went away to the church, and I searched. But when I went to the church, there was a call for anybody who wants to give their lives to Jesus. And the Prince of Peace was mentioned from the platform, and it just gripped me. It gripped me. But at the time, I still didn't understand. Still didn't know. But I just had this urge to respond to what the pastor was saying. And at that point, I gave my life over to the Lord. I gave my life over to Him.
Wow.
And
how does your faith feature in your business?
If it wasn't for my faith, I don't think there'd be any business. If I'm honest with you, it features in ways that I still don't understand, because God is asking me to step out in faith. That's the whole idea of this journey with God. It's all about faith. You know, just because you don't fully understand something, you still go with it, and God meets you right there in it. You know, and that's what I love about it. But it features in many ways. I mean, my faith, I get to share it with people because I'm out and about. I'm always in people's houses. What a great place to evangelise and spread the gospel. And the same with young Brett, you know, getting the opportunity to share my faith with him as well. And it's just wonderful. You know, God is amazing.
So in the last 6 years, is there anything you would have changed?
Not, I think.
Nothing at all?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Even what's gone wrong or what was wrong, you get to learn from that, you know, and then you get to do things right as you're going on with that in that journey.
So let me ask you, Steve. Are you a pastor then, Steve? Do you see yourself as a pastor? Huh?
Yes. It's been, if I'm honest, it's been spoken out for me, and I do believe that there is that role of a pastor there. But that, you know, that pastor name is in many different ways, isn't it? You know. So
you're pastoring in your business right now, right?
Oh yes.
You're a trainee. You're a trainee pastor in your business. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay,
definitely.
So let's get a witness now as to, you told us all these wonderful things about your business, how you've taken this trainee on. So let's speak to Brett about what life is actually like working with Steve in the business.
Hi.
Hi, Brett. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
So you came on as a trainee. What was it like for you coming in to work with Steve as a trainee?
At first, it was a bit strange because obviously I've just left school and going into work is a big thing. And Steve was patient enough with me to learn me what he knows and help me develop in painting and decorating.
So up until that point, you had no work experience. You were totally green.
Yep.
What were your expectations? Did anyone say to you what to expect at all?
Not really, but they didn't really tell me what to expect. But at first it was a bit tricky. But then I got used to it and with Steve's help and family's help, they helped me improve as well.
When you say it was tricky, you mean you had to turn up for work?
Yeah, because I'd never done it before.
So were you ever late? Were you ever late for work?
No, never late.
Wow.
Good badge for that.
From day one, you were committed.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. So working for Steve, what has it been like as a trainee? How does he handle you with developing your skills in the actual work that you do? How does he handle that?
He handles it by, if I'm doing something slightly wrong, he will point me in the right direction and just give me some advice, so I know how to do it and what to do next time. And he's been very patient with me, helping me develop. And yeah, he's been there every step of the way for the past 3-4 years, guiding me through getting my to say that I'm professional.
So when you went to college, did the theory at college sync with the actual work that you were doing on a day-to-day basis?
Yes.
So you can relate to it?
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you another question. You know, you can be honest. I know you're sitting in the truck with him, right? But is he a good boss? You can answer this one truthfully. Is he a good boss?
Yes, he's a brilliant boss.
He's a brilliant boss.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you put him up for an award? Would you put him up for an award? Like an Employer's Award of the Year?
Yes.
You would?
Yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing, Brett. So you've been enjoying the time with Steve?
Yes, I've enjoyed it a lot, yes.
So what's your dreams, Brett? I've heard a bit of Steve's. What's your dream?
My dream's to help Trinity develop even more, and develop myself as well. And then hopefully in a few years to come, I can maybe go on my own a bit more, and possibly take a younger person on and then help them develop.
Wow. You're perpetuating the same thing that's happened to you. You're hoping to build your own business and take on a trainee as well.
Yes.
That's an amazing model, because I think it's from lockdown, the stats are that not a lot of young people are employed. Am I correct?
Yes.
There's not a lot of work.
Yes.
But you've not had that problem.
No.
Amazing, amazing. So Steve, let's jump back into Steve now. So where does the dream go from here, Steve? Where does the dream go from here?
The dream goes from here, because when you've got a vision, that it's always bigger than what you are. So the dream from here now is to create or partner with people around me and different people, to manage this vision well, because ultimately it's about people. It's about people. So to manage that well, you need the right people around you and the right people working with you. So at the moment, I'm just looking into launching out into a Trinity training. So we got the Trinity interior exteriors, but now there's a Trinity training, which I will call a centre for now.
Wow.
Whether that's the right word.
What does Trinity training look like, and what does it do? So
Trinity training, I believe, will be very, very similar to the way you see a college, where you go in and you train, where youngsters or even adults train to get the qualifications for a certain trade under the belt, so that they can get into employment. But I see Trinity training centre as I see it more of a like a what word shall I use? It's going to be a place where people come and learn, but Trinity Interior Exteriors will be somewhere for them to gain the experience. So the training and the experience in the same hand, more or less for the same company, but it's even bigger than that, Alex. It reaches out to derelict property, because I really love the thought of taking something that's dead and bringing it to life, because that's what God did with me ultimately, you know. So taking a dead building, a derelict building, and bringing it to life, man, that excites me. So those places can be a place of training and working at the same time, hand in hand. So those youngsters or even adults can learn the trade on the job and gain a certificate from it. But there's also going to be a centre for others who can't get onto the site. So it's big, Alex. It's bigger. It's bigger than one man. Put it that way.
So what kind of organisations are you going to partner with to make this come alive?
At the moment, I'm not 100% sure on that one, if I'm honest. But I just know that partnering has got to take place. There's a vision, and with the vision, I want people to partner with that vision. I want people who can see the vision, grasp hold of it, and just run with it. You know, just as it says, you know, in Habakkuk, write the vision down, make it plain, and they'll run with it. You know, and that's exactly what's taking place right now.
Well, I mean, okay, Steve, we're on camera right now, and you're talking, okay? So I want you to make an appeal right now to the public to say, I want you to come on board with what I'm doing. Make an appeal to everyone out there who's got the type of skill sets you're looking for to help Trinity Training Centre become alive whenever the period.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm calling out now for people who would love to partner with this vision of Trinity Training and also Trinity Interior Exteriors, which will become a multi-trade training centre. But also it's a place where youngsters can come and they can be themselves and take in hand what they feel comfortable with, whether that may be painting, decorating, tiling, plastering, electrics, plumbing, whatever it may be. Whatever suits them, they can take hold of, and they can run with it, and they can be taught, not just in a training centre itself, but also out on the job. So I'm just this is just a call out for anybody that may want to partner with this vision, in whatever way that may look. You know, it's not just about money, but it's about people. So I'm asking for people to partner with this. But ultimately, it's about young people gaining what is lacking, I believe, in society at the moment. A place for young people to come and be themselves and learn a trade at the same time and become the people that they are supposed to be.
I'm just giving it time for it to simmer, for it just to simmer to the atmosphere. I'm just giving it time for it to just disperse itself in the atmosphere around. That's a massive movement.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And how big do you think this building looks like? Give me a picture, give me an insight as to what the building looks like, the size, what's inside, how many rooms. Let's paint that picture.
Wow, yeah. So this building will have more than 2 levels. It'll have many levels in regards to places of training. So this place will have cubicles. It will have offices. It will have CAF. It'll have a place to just sit and unwind, put your music on, whatever you want to do. But it's also going to be a place of worship. I can't get that one away from me. It's going to be a place of worship, and that will be the room at the top. It will be the room at the top. So it is a very, very big place. It's actually bigger than my imagination, if I'm honest with you. So, but that's as far as I can go with it at the moment. Until I'm in it.
That's tremendous. That's tremendous. So the building might just be around right now. You could be talking about a building that actually exists right now, and it's actually waiting for you to come and take it.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I believe so.
And what would you say to young people right now, Steve? What would you say to young people right now?
To young people right now, I would say to young people that they need to find their comfortable place. If I'm honest with you, there's so many youngsters who struggle, and today they call it mental health, but they're just in a place of not really being in what they are supposed to be in. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they struggle with that. I know I used to do it myself as a youth. But they need to come to a place where they can be who they are supposed to be, who God created them to be, and take it and ride it, because young people are very important. This generation is very important. It's not just young people, but even adults are important. This generation at the moment it doesn't look good, but I know that God and his people can make a difference for the young people in this generation today. I know so. So I'm asking all young people to grip hold of what they enjoy. I mean, I spoke to a couple of teachers not long ago, actually, the one I'm doing some work for. And he's a maths teacher, and he was saying himself that there's a group who want to learn maths. There's a group who like maths but don't want to learn maths in a classroom setting. There's got to be a way of making it enjoyable for young people to enjoy maths and even English, and it can't always just be in a classroom setting where you sit down, listen, and then write what you need to write. Let's make it active. I love action. Faith is action, isn't it? I love action. Let's make things active in an enjoyable way for youngsters. And I think I'm going off track a little bit here, but it's that's the whole idea of it, making a comfortable place for young people to just come and enjoy what they're supposed to be doing.
Wow, Steve, that is tremendous. That is and a tremendous appeal to young people to kind of provide a place for them to be themselves, and so that they can continue their learning experience.
That's right.
And change the learning experience from the last 20 years to a more modern approach.
Definitely.
And more interactive.
Definitely. Yeah.
Wow. Steve, it's been amazing talking to you this morning. It's been amazing having this conversation, hearing your heart, hearing where you want to go. And the things you were saying that God spoke to you in 2017, man. This guy's crazy, man. This guy's crazy about God speaking to you. But there's the evidence of your path that says you've been on a journey and you're wanting to impact people's lives.
That's right.
And you have a witness in your car by the name of Brett.
Yeah.
Brett almost sounds like you. He's a trainee in every respect. Brett sounds like you. Brett has a vision to build Trinity, go out there and replicate what you're doing. That's amazing. That's amazing to have started that journey, Steve, and to be helping the next generation. That's tremendous.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you.
You know, and
Thank you.
sometimes in life we always think that something's bad sometimes, and you know, it's the current situation is terrible. But if there are people like you out there who have made a determination and made an approach to start developing things for other people, helping to change lives, then the world's going to be a better place.
Yeah, yeah.
The world is definitely going to be a better place because of
Yeah.
people like yourself.
Amen. Yeah.
So one more appeal I want you to do. I want you to encourage people like yourself who've got visions. They've got visions of doing things, but sometimes they're scared. They're not sure what to do. They're not sure how to take it. I want you to encourage those people today, Steve.
Yeah. So if there is anybody out there who has vision, who has dreams, I would just encourage you right now just to recapture that vision. If it's lost, if it's gone into the back rooms of your mind, I encourage you today to bring it forward, and step out in faith from where you are right now. You know, visions are further past where you are right now. They're bigger than what you are right now. But until you take that first step, you're never going to know. So I just encourage everybody with a dream and a vision, bring it to the forefront. If you need to, pray on it, but step out in faith and go with what you believe you need to go with. And do not hesitate. Do not hesitate. Even if you make a wrong step, you can learn from it and take the right step. So just go with it. Go with what your dream and your vision is saying.
Wow. Sounds like a pastor. This is the pastor of Trinity Interiors Exteriors, who's developing a practical approach to training and developing young people and making a difference in his community.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Steve, thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it.
Just restate where people can find your business page.
Okay, so you can go onto Facebook and type in Trinity Interior Exteriors, and Trinity Interior Exteriors will come up. If you're interested in anything at all, if you just drop a message on Facebook and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But also, I've just joined a marketing group called Best of Walsall. So I will be up on the Best of Walsall by September. So if you need to find any trade at all, if you go to the Best of Walsall, Trinity Interiors Exteriors will be, I hope, at the top. No, Trinity Interiors will be on Best of Walsall by September anyway, so you can get in touch with us through there as well.
Okay.
My phone number is on the Facebook page, so if ever you need to personally contact me, that's fine.
And if you have any work that you need Trinity Exteriors to do, just find him on the same place.
That's right.
Thank you so much. Brett, thank you so much for coming out today.
No problem.
And
there you go.
Yeah. And guys, what I would do if I were you is record yourself every day. Do some sort of Facebook Live, some sort of video recording every so often of what you're doing, what you're up to, and post it on your Facebook page.
Okay.
So people can see the journey, document the journey as you do it, because 5 to 10 years from now, when things blow up, you want to look back and go, wow, it all started here. This is what it looked like.
That's right.
And if you do it from now, you'll have the time to do it. But 5 years from now, you won't have the time to do it. You're getting around the country giving interviews. Thank you very much, guys.
Alex, thank you.
Thank you.